Welcome back to Hooked. We are glad you are joining us for our second episode. In the past episode, we talked about the 6 myths that single people have about love, sex, relationships, marriage. And today we are just going to expound on one of those myths. By the way, my name is Blessed Ivan. And on set, I am with my beautiful wife, Precious Barbara. And together, we have a couple of guests with us who are going to introduce themselves, and they are going to tell us a song they would dedicate to someone. Maybe someone they love, someone they've loved before. They're going to tell us their name and a song. In fact, they should sing us a line or two from that song. Oh yeah. So where do we start? No, you're good at it. You should. I'm going to start to my right. I'm going to start with the lovely gentleman, Eddie.
Hi, people. Hi. Eddie is my name. So, the song I'll dedicate, there's Chris Brown and Jordan Sparks. No, hey.
But, what? We did hear that part. What are the words?
Now you
No
sing.
air.
No air.
Yes.
Air.
Yeah.
My God.
No air. Yeah.
Well,
the last day if
I think she has
die
had it,
before I wake.
I should die before I wake. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get it from someone else. All right, let's go, Chanda.
Hi, my name is Chanda. Yeah, so you know when you said a song, the first song that came to my mind, I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. Then you were like, we sing.
Sample,
you guys,
sample.
I
it
cannot
on,
do that
bring it
song
on.
justice. Anyway, you guys know you're all looking at me.
We're waiting.
They give you a kick.
And I will always love you.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh yeah, man, that must be going out to someone out there.
Somebody out there.
But I will always love you. I'll tell you mine after the show. But let's get one from Morgan.
Hi guys, my name is Morgan, and for me this has been a hard one, a song, and I want to just give you guys a song that really touches my heart. Yeah. Draw me close.
Hey,
I did, guys.
Is it supposed to touch your heart or her
It's a
heart? dedication.
Yeah, that's a dedication, guys.
Yeah.
The hip hop
The
version or
person
the
is
reggae?
saying it. Mama.
well, apparently draw me close to you. Reminds me of a dedication I think someone sent to a friend. That I'm walking away from the troubles in my life. What song would you dedicate? It's just that this thing is corrupted over here. But
I'm going to be like one of those people who dedicates Christian songs to their beloved ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
like me. Eh?
No,
Hey.
I think it would be, what's that song that has what's that song?
When God made
That's a hard description.
Perfect imperfections. I don't know.
Hey.
Oh, hey, I forgot your
all
name.
of me.
Yeah.
Last
John Legend. Eh?
Hey.
Yes, that's
Hey.
Hey!
Hey. Uh-huh.
All right.
Reply.
My dedication will be when I see your face.
Hey!
It's not a thing that I would change.
Hey!
Tell us
Girl,
about
you're
what you make
amazing, just the way you are.
Hey!
Hey! All right. Oh, by the way, today we are talking about the completion myth. You know,
Yeah.
I saw a statement somewhere that when someone comes to you and says, "You complete me," run. but seriously, when we're talking about it in our previous episode.
Yeah.
By the way, if you haven't yet watched it, please watch it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us a comment. Share this video with your friends. And like. All right. So we're talking about the completion myth. And we're like, at times when you're single, you think that someone is going to complete you. You think that you need someone to complete you. And so you have a certain deficiency you have in your life. And you think that the other person you're going to date, you place a demand on them to meet certain supplies for you, to supply
Make you
certain
happy.
things, to make you happy, to make you complete, to give love to you, which which is not the case. I think it is an unrealistic expectation
Yeah.
that you would put on someone. But in this episode, we just want to talk about what would you do as a single person? What would you do to sort of like grow and make yourself the right person, prepare yourself in time, such that you're not just waiting for someone? What are some of the things you need to work on as a single person to be complete, such that you're not waiting for someone to complete you? Or rather, you let me read something from this awesome book that you all need to get hooked. Thriving in Love, Sex, and Relationships. There is a quote in here that says, a relationship with another person is supposed to complement what you have discovered while you are still single.
Yeah.
A relationship with another person is supposed to complement what you have discovered while you are still single. So what are some of these things you think a person needs to discover and work on and grow into while they are still single?
I think the best thing we can do is really like share stories. Or the best thing I can do is really like share stories.
Yeah.
2017, I was really chasing a lady who maybe didn't seem to be ready for the same thing.
Yeah.
But then the signal right there was more of let's try this. So we go on, and right there I had an opportunity to meet the boss of the house. And we met at CJ's Kamoja. And he invited me into a gang space, a discipleship space.
Yeah.
And right there, when we started to discuss different things, he didn't even need to talk to me about relationship. He just had to keep going over the word, because we used to meet every Tuesday, every single Tuesday of the year, except the rest months.
Yeah.
And just right there in the discipleship, in the journeys with him, in the stories they share, in the stories you hear from people sharing, in the word, there was growth. And by the time we came to a conclusion with the lady, it was a great space to be.
What great space? Like
What
you didn't
great space?
continue with the relationship with the
We
person.
did continue, but there was no blood spirit.
There
Okay,
was no- so it's like you agreed between the two of you that
Mutual.
you
Yes.
had a bit of growth to do
Yes,
individually before
True.
you can complement each other in the
yes,
relationship.
because I think at some level she had started saying, you are now getting into a church space. You're growing, and I'm not there. That's not my kind of life. Because the initial space of looking out for her could have been in a thing of like, oh, she looks good, she likes this. But then, is she on the same journey with me? Does she want to be in church? Is she acting? So yeah,
Okay,
I think
so-
really discipleship also space like that.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to say is that if you're still single, one of the things you should be looking out for is personal growth, like working on personal growth. Don't postpone it for until you meet someone.
True.
Don't postpone it for until, I don't know, someone vibes your word, then you start thinking about growing the gifts and talents God has given you, or growing spiritually, or growing intellectually, growing your abilities, your mind, your ability to think and reason, or growing relationally in the way you interact with people, or growing financially. You know, some people at times wait, think that I can only start making money effectively after some time.
Yeah.
You're waiting. Actually, you're broke and you're looking for a rich person, sort of like cover up for your deficiency in finances.
Yeah.
So what basically he's saying is that you need to get on a growth journey. I don't know whether any of us has
feel
that
like-
an experience where you have grown or experienced growth while you are still single. Some of you are still single.
Maybe I can add on that. Like, personally, I think when you look at growth, you look at it in a way that someone can ask you, like, who are you? You get? You need to be able to ask yourself, who am I? Like, you need to discover who you are, so that when you place yourself out there is something that people see about you that actually attracts them. People are attracted most times to value, you get. So as an individual, you need to create a value in yourself. Personally, I sort of experienced this growing up. I reached a point where I noticed that the people who, majority of the people would actually desire to be with, are people who have value, you get. So you shouldn't leave that out of your plans. You should actually plan to make yourself valuable. Like you said, valuable spiritually. Like, you need to get to know God. Yeah. Personally, the more I got to know God, the more I got to know my identity. I feel like it's an identity problem. And if you don't know your identity, someone else will give you an identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Like the world will give you an identity. They might make you feel small. They'll tell you you can never do this, you can never do that. And then you will run into a relationship with a sort of beaten up identity about yourself. Yeah. And then when you're in the relationship, you're going to be feeding off someone. And it can reach a point where the person gets to feel like, yo, you're feeding off them, yet even them, they're feeding from someone. So yeah, you need to have a source of where you're getting your identity from.
Mhm.
What you're saying is very, very important.
Yeah.
I've met people who, if their partner doesn't tell them that, for example, you are beautiful, it's a very big
yeah,
deal, my
yeah.
friend, because the source of belief on that comes from what the other person is telling them.
Yeah.
They don't actually believe it.
It's
Yeah.
not
It's
internally
not
driven.
Yes, it's not
It's
coming from them.
externally.
It's externally driven.
in
And
a
people
place,
who
yeah.
most times don't believe that they are beautiful, you find that you have to do every sort of thing
Yeah.
to prove that to yourself and to the people that you're actually beautiful. And yet, if you believe that, from the word of God really, that you are beautifully and wonderfully made,
Yeah.
then by the time you even meet another person, when they tell you you're beautiful, you're not like shocked.
Yeah.
You're not, if they don't tell you that you're not beautiful, it's not a big deal, because you know that you're grounded.
Yeah.
You're powerful in your own strength. You are beautiful. You are amazing, because
Yeah.
that's what God has made you. So knowing that before you even get into a relationship is really beautiful.
So
It's really a
emotionally,
beautiful experience.
you need to have. There's something I read in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and they talk about how you need to have, like, you shouldn't be a reactive person. You get reactive is where you depend on other people to determine your situation. Like, if the situation around you is not fine, you'll not be fine. For instance, if you enter a relationship and the person, you depend on your identity from another person, you have not yet found out, at least to a certain percentage, who you are. Yeah. Now, there are also proactive people who actually, they will determine the situation. So when you have a good identity about yourself, when you enter a relationship, everything will be great. Yeah. Because already you're so confident in who you are that you're actually going to be pouring into each other's cup, not draining each other. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's
Yeah.
a nice space to start from.
Yeah. So far we've talked about two things. We've talked about the need for you to grow yourself personally, add value to yourself.
Yeah.
Get into spaces while you're still single where you are growing. Don't wait for someone to come before you grow. Then the second thing we've talked about is know who you are. Be confident in who you are. Like, I love the example you gave, that at times we wait for someone to tell us we are beautiful, or we can do something, or what. And if they don't tell it to us, and by the way, that's a source of conflict in very many relationships.
Yeah.
So people get in there with this deficiency mindset, and then you are stressed. I mean, the person tries to
Insecure.
love you, but because you are not sure about who you are, you end up being insecure. You end up being like you're not giving your best. You're self-conscious the whole time, And
I think I have a question.
Ask the question.
You know how there are different love languages?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What if somebody's love language is words of affirmation?
Yeah.
Does that mean that they are not complete? How can I say it? Like, some people, their love language is words of affirmation. Like, they like it when people tell them, oh, you're looking nice, you're beautiful, and they're not exactly feeding off it. I can't, but yeah. And so, such a person would not particularly be happy, say, if they're with someone who is not understanding that love language of theirs. But I don't think that means that, yeah.
They're in conflict. I can try to answer that. I think I used to be that kind of person who, if I have dressed smart, I really want my husband to tell me that I am smart.
But I tell you, right?
Yes,
You look cute, yeah.
yes, I do. But I had to learn to tell that myself first. To be like, I actually look good.
Yeah.
I actually, I am beautiful. I can do this thing. Like, before even my husband gets to tell me, I need to have told that to myself. Because yes, he will tell me, but if I don't believe it, then
So
it
he's
won't happen.
complimenting
He's
you, right?
complimenting what I already
He's
know.
not completing,
He's
but
not
he's complimenting.
Yes.
That's why it's called a compliment.
Yeah, that's why it's
Yeah.
called a
Compliment.
compliment.
Yeah, so
It's a
it's beautiful
compliment.
when you hear these things from other people, yes, but you need to be able to believe them before even another person tells them to you.
Otherwise, someone could tell you that you're beautiful and you doubt.
And you doubt it.
You're like, you're
And
lying.
you wonder why they are telling you. You're like, this person is telling me because maybe they don't
They
want
want
to feel bad
something
because
from
I'm
me.
ugly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
there is also another aspect that
Yeah.
I've been thinking about. Yes, there are people who go into relationships to get completed with that mindset, but there are also people who go into relationships hoping to complete other people.
yeah.
What do you think about that? You know, I can give you an example. Like you're probably dating someone who is maybe um, struggling with something,
Yeah.
and you feel like if I am not in this relationship, maybe this person will die. So
Yeah.
you stay there. You feel like you're the solution to their problems.
I can
That's
share an
a severe
experience.
mindset.
An experience we have had.
Superior, yes.
That you have a savior or messiah complex in your head. You think you're the messiah. You
Banga
came in
Messiah.
like Superman or whatever to save the day.
That is a
When we just started dating, I used to think that without me, there's this whole notion that as a man you're the priest in the home. I used
Yeah.
to think that without me she can't grow spiritually.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So when I got into the relationship, it wasn't sort of like compliment or work with her to develop her own journey, but it's like I wanted to drag her
Yeah.
and push her to where I think she
Yeah.
needs to be in the relationship. So in that way, I came with a completion mindset. And actually, when you come with that mindset, you're always looking down on the other person because
True.
in your mind, they are incomplete. In
Yeah.
your
Picture
mind,
you've painted.
they are not good enough in
Yeah.
this area.
Yeah.
They are not capable enough in that area. So you get in like, you get into the relationship not as a partner, okay, but as
Superior.
as a superior. And
A
so
high
you're
priest.
trying to boss the person around.
Yeah.
You're trying to get them to perform to a certain level before you can love them. You're trying to get them to fill up and complete certain things before you can. So I think it's also not a good mindset
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
to have. It's a mindset that we need to watch out for.
Yeah.
I think it's a very stressful mindset.
It causes stress
When you have to think for the other
because the
person.
only
Yeah.
person you can control on a good day is
Yourself.
yourself. That's why it's called self-control, not
Wow.
others' control.
Wow.
I love it.
Anyway, so there is an interesting quote in this book here that
Yeah.
that says that a relationship with someone should not be your source of purpose,
Yeah.
your source of love, your source of identity or values.
Yeah.
These things were never meant to be found in a relationship, but they were meant to be enhanced.
Wow.
So there is a
In that
place for
relationship.
enhancing.
Yeah, the things.
I like that. I like that because sometimes, you may be there, guys, struggling in a certain area, and another person can help you.
Can
see.
walk along with you to help
to
you
grow.
see.
If I am a partner with her in a company,
Mhm.
we don't give that company identity.
Mhm.
But then our further ability to steward the company finances, to have responsibility over the people, gives the company identity, gives them value, purpose.
Yeah.
So basically, some of the things we've mentioned is that while you're still single, one, grow yourself, add value to yourself, be extremely adamant about this. Have stoic determination to grow yourself. The second thing we've talked
And to
about
live.
is
and to basically live. Like
Yeah.
be
and
happy.
be happy. Enjoy
Look,
yourself. Take yourself out.
yes.
Yeah.
Go on dates. Have dates with yourself. Like go live life, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And then secondly, find identity. Like know who you truly are and be secure about yourself. Be secure about your looks.
Yeah.
Be secure about your beauty, about your legs,
Yeah.
about your ears, about your
About
nose,
your money.
about your money.
About your
But of course, make the money. Because
Yeah.
the other thing I think actually that is important while you're still single is that you need to actually work.
Yeah.
You need to find your life's purpose and your life's work
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
you're still single. You may not find it entirely, but you need to get on the journey with that.
Yeah.
Because I've met people who are just chilling out and waiting, man. Let me wait until they come.
Yeah.
That's when I'll
Take care
find
of
work or I'll find purpose. You need to be doing something with your life. even before the person comes. As you guys was speaking, as we were speaking about this, I remember the story in the Bible of Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
And before Eve was created, there are certain things that God gave Adam.
Yeah.
Before Eve came into the picture,
Yeah.
Adam had an identity. The Bible says that God created him in the image of God.
Yeah.
Adam had purpose. The Bible says that he was given dominion over the fish, the birds of the air, and what.
Yeah.
Adam had work. His work was to tend the garden. Like he had to take care of the garden
Yeah.
of Eve. He had all these things before Eve came into the picture.
Yeah.
That should give us a snapshot that even while you're still single, there are things that you need to be developing and growing
Yeah.
about yourself. Is there any other thing you think you would say to?
I would probably add to that and to say that a relationship shouldn't even be looked at as something, as a completion. Because when you look at it that way, then you're waiting for it to arrive, then you have completed something. But it's part of the journey.
Or you're waiting for it to arrive, then you can leave.
Then you
Yeah.
In
can
other
leave.
words,
Then you
you're
can
not
leave.
leaving
Yeah.
until the person
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah. So it's important to know that yes, for us these are beautiful things. Marriage is a very beautiful thing.
Oh yeah.
But it's part of the journey. It's you're already moving, and that's part of the package that God has for you.
Yeah.
So we can't say that now when I start dating, that is when I'll start.
Living.
That is when I'll start living, or when I find a man, he will sway me to whatever direction that he has, or a woman. I think that it's important to know that we are on a journey, and the journey should be beautiful, even as you wait for all these other things that God has given you, including a relationship and a marriage.
Oh yeah.
I would also I feel like people need to get this, yeah. You know, when Eddie talked about the spaces, yeah. For me personally, spaces have also helped me grow, because you know there are certain aspects of our lives that we need to grow in.
Yeah.
We need to grow in the spiritual, yeah. We need to grow in the relational, and we need to grow in
Physical,
intellectual,
financial.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important for people to pick each, just assess, search yourself, see in each of these, where am I right now? You get,
Yeah.
and be intentional about growing.
Yeah.
And I feel like eventually when the person comes, or when you identify the person that you,
You
really
complement the
love, you
growth
complement
with each
the
other.
growth. That's a perfect thing. to
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
Very true.
Anything? Parting shots for us as we.
I think something I'd like to say is being single is not being alone.
Yeah.
When you're single, this is your time to grow. Like
Yeah.
we've said, it's your time to. It doesn't mean that you can't be happy. It doesn't mean that you can't discover yourself. You don't have to wait for someone to come for you to be happy.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, you can go on dates by yourself. You can
Go to
discover
the
what.
movies, yo.
Yes, you
Discover
can go
what
to the
you
movies
like,
on your
man.
own. Go for lunch.
Yeah.
yourself, love yourself. And something that I discussed and I heard somewhere is you can't give what you don't have.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get into
Give
a
from an empty
relationship
cup.
when you do not love yourself. You don't have love in you, and you won't be able to give it because you don't have it.
Yeah.
You've never really
Experience love.
experienced it. And so when you're single, it's not that you're supposed to be sad, alone. You're not alone. This is your time to grow, to be happy, to discover yourself, what you like, what you don't like. So that when you're getting into a relationship, when you're going to start dating, you know yourself. You have a firm ground that you're standing on,
Yeah.
and you can't easily be
Wavered.
swayed.
Swayed.
Swayed or
If you don't
wavered.
stand for something, you
You
fall
fall
for
for
it.
anything, yo.
Yeah.
Someone said that. Parting shots for us, Eddie. Real quick.
I
About
don't
30
take it for
seconds.
granted. So
Mm.
start a relationship with God. Let it be your key
Yeah.
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
Then secondly, get a father. Because they give identity. Your partner is going to just help you shape your identity, shape your purpose, and help you walk the journey in a funny way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
parting shots from you.
Parting shots. Singlehood is beautiful. You are first single before you are engaged, before you are married. So live it, enjoy it,
Yeah.
have fun. Because when you're married, you can't go back to singlehood. So
Yeah.
enjoy it, have a blast. It's a beautiful one.
Absolutely. Thank you so much once again for tuning into this particular episode of Hooked. We invite you to like, subscribe, let comment,
Yeah.
to ask any questions, share them in the comments. invite your friends to check out this channel, and you guys
Share the link.
invite your friends to check out this channel. But we are going to be discussing different things as we go, answering some of your questions. Please feel free to throw them up a lot in here. But as we conclude today, we're talking about the completion myth. It's you don't get into a relationship to be completed by someone. No. You need to discover yourself. You need to know. The Bible, Jesus told some people the two greatest commandments. He says that you love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Yeah.
So before you love your neighbor, you need to learn to love yourself. You need to embrace who you are, embrace your identity, embrace personal growth. Love yourself first. Because if you don't thrive in your time as a single person, it's going to be hard for you to grow and live life effectively as a married person and as an engaged person. So thank you so much for hanging out with us today. See you for our next episode.
Bye.